today we are continuing our playthrough of Waterdeep's Dragon Heist. This is something we play every Friday at 7 Eastern. And if you're interested in checking out any of our streams, look at the schedule down below so you can see all the days we play D&D on this channel. Alright, so far, the story has been that after following up on the fireball outside your tavern, where the party was kind of hanging out, you've been following the clues about what happened and who was responsible. In our last session, the party, after recovering from the altercation you had at the Growlhund Villa and barely managing to escape without being imprisoned or worse, you guys have started searching for the Stone of Galore, which is believed to be kind of the source of all the conflict that's been around Waterdeep lately. The Zentarum and the Xanathar have been warring over the possession of the stone, and you've learned that the fireball that erupted outside your house was aimed at someone who is currently carrying the stone. The Growlhunds have been searching for it, and after following leads, you learn that it was sent to the dock ward. And after going and finding a Xanathar ambush from people trying to recover the stone, you have learned only that it's not here. You were encountering a wizard, Grinda Garloth, who, having had the stone sent to her, ferried it away with her rat familiar to her family's crypt in the City of the Dead. And that's where we are picking up today. As thanks, Grinda allowed the party to hang out at her house. That way they could take a rest. And then, what would you guys like to do now?
To the sewers.
Sewers?
Well, we were told we could just walk around the city streets as long as we didn't look suspicious. So I feel like that's a good.
Well, we've mostly been cleared now anyway.
But I like the sewers.
Thanks to the Harpers.
It's true. True. Hi, Ozzy.
Do we think there's any chance we can maybe get our stuff back from the villa, or no chance?
You can send a courier and ask, but I wouldn't go in person.
Well, I think that there was a misunderstanding, but then we stole their horses.
As I said, I would send a courier.
Now, I'm not saying I'm going to kill a noble if I see them, but I'm going to kill a noble if I see them. They took my totem. That totem means everything to me. That's all you have to know.
Grinda speaks up. I'm not one to tell you your business, but if you were after the stone, don't you think you should retrieve it? I mean, it's only a matter of time before those hooligans go looking for it.
She does speak words of wisdom, y'all. Let's get going.
All right. When you had first arrived at the dock ward, it was like midday. And so it's just around it's maybe like an hour before nightfall. You know, it's starting to turn from sunlight to dusk, and as you walk towards the City of the Dead, you can see the familiar sight in Waterdeep of hundreds of drift globes floating through the air towards the City of the Dead. It happens every night, and and for a lot of people, it's largely unexplained why they do this. But the drift globes go and they hover over the city of the dead and let off an eerie light so that you are able to see your way through the stones and sarcophagi that are there. That wasn't the word I wanted, but whatever.
Well, that's certainly handy.
I'll move.
I don't like this very much, but let's find the place. Does anyone have a map?
Of the city of the dead. No,
Yeah.
nobody has a map, but most of the plots are arranged by family name. Many of them alphabetically, kind of segmented by a section for the nobles up here, and there's a section for the more common folk and the peasantry over here. So just kind of wandering around, it wouldn't be too difficult to find the Garloth family crypt.
Well, let's keep our eyes out and see if we can find it.
As you walk ahead, you can see that the city of the dead is largely deserted, and far off in the distance you can see a lone person kind of traveling through the park here. It's very easy to spot them because even though there is an illumination from the drift globes hovering overhead, he's carrying a lantern, so it makes it very easy for him to stick out.
Do you think they have grave robbers here, or is this just like someone patrolling it?
It's hard to tell at this great distance.
Well, I'm like asking the party if
okay,
anyone knows.
I will shut up.
Do you really think anyone would be so brazen about grave robbing in the middle of the city?
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's much anyone here, and the nobles are buried with a ton of wealth. I would think that someone might.
It's possible, but they do have groundkeepers and guards around normally.
I think it's highly unlikely, but again, yeah, I think it's possible.
So you think we should keep ourselves hidden from him then, so he doesn't see us?
Well, I mean, I feel like that would be pretty conspicuous if he saw us.
Well, I think walking around the graveyard in the middle of the night is pretty conspicuous in and of it.
Do we see anyone like other regular individuals walking around as well, or just?
No, it's like completely abandoned except for the lone figure off in the distance.
Okay.
Personally, I think we should. You go.
I was just gonna say that you were able to enter the city of the dead without being stopped or bothered. But you see that there's clearly not anyone else here at this time.
I think we should try to keep a low profile.
I agree. If it is some form of god, it's prowling around at night. It's probably not going to be the best thing.
I mean, I feel like the best way to blend in is just act like we belong here. Don't do anything fishy.
Well, that's hard to do when we're the only people here aside from him. You can't really blend into nothing.
Well, I mean, we can stay behind graves and stuff out of his lineup.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I'm saying that we, just kind of walking around like we belong here doesn't seem to be the kind of thing that we can really do when we're trying to skulk around. There's nobody else here, so I just think we should probably move with some form of stealth.
If you really think it's necessary, I'll follow your lead.
Okay. So you guys begin to kind of wind your way through stealthily, trying to avoid the man with the lantern, and you're able to find the Garloth mausoleum, and you can even see from even in the dim light, you can see that something is wrong. Whereas all the mausoleums are shut tight with their stone doors secured ahead of you, the doors to the Garloth crypt are open, and not just open. It looks like they were force open by something immensely strong.
Does this look like recent, like they're breaking in tonight, or is this like it was broken like days or weeks or months?
Make a perception check.
Passive is 17. If it makes a
Oh,
difference.
okay. Well, then you can do that. Oh, well, 20 still is better than 17. Looking at the at the door, you can see groove marks where it looks like a crowbar was shoved in between the two stone slabs, and the grooves are still very sharp and fresh. They haven't aged yet, so this happened very recently.
Yeah, sure. I'll pass that on to the rest of the party and let them know that I think we've got some company.
Well, I'm up for killing some Xanathars. Let's go.
Phoebus already his stuff and just move in behind.
So have these tombstones all been opened, I'm guessing?
When you walk in, you see that there's a family emblem emblazoned on the floor between the large ostentatious marble coffins. The coffins are engraved with the names of those interred within, and yes, the lids are pried open and are currently laying askew.
Well, they've obviously been through here. I don't think we should look through these. I think we should just find the culprit.
Well, I guess before we go, I just want to make sure that none of the lids or anything have been like moved really, or like someone's been looking. Like, does it look like they just ignored these, or did whoever come through like tear the lids off?
The lids were removed.
Okay, so I guess they haven't been here, or they haven't found what they're looking for here. Or did they like leave jewelry and stuff on the bodies, or is it just like
Inside,
skeletons?
there's nothing but dust and remains. And a couple of the sarcophagi are empty. Not even the remains are left behind. Open. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, sorry.
He was asking if they seem to have been robbed in any sort of way, the crypts.
Could you
Other
guys
than
not
just
hear
open?
me? I answered that.
Oh, no, I couldn't hear you.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yes, they have been robbed. The sarcophagi are open, and all of the contents have been removed.
Okay.
All of the contents.
Did that guy walking away look like he was like laden down with like stuff, or was he just
It was
like
at a very great distance, and it was dim light.
Okay.
Barrymiley said all of the contents, which suggests that the bodies aren't even there. We probably would have noticed something if he's carrying around several desiccated corpses with them.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's push further in.
As you walk through, you see more crypts left open and the contents removed. as you kind of walk forward, you begin to determine that the crypt is empty, but there's something shiny laying on the floor of the crypt at the far end.
Stand back. I'll cast Mage Hand and pick it up from a distance of 30.
Okay. It is a small key. Looks to be made out of steel, but it's not a very simple key. Like there's markings that are on the on the steel shaft, and looks to be very finely made.
Now, that's certainly a beaut of a key. The lock, whoever made this must have been an excellent craftsman, and I'm sure he was very. As I look it over, does it look like there's like a house, like a family seal or something on there, or is it just the key is just like a plain?
Just a key.
Is this a door at the end of the hall?
There is.
I'm betting it goes to the door over here, Rogue.
No, it does not. The door is unlocked, and you pull it open to find another sarcophagus. Lid askew, contents removed.
Well, that sucked.
Well, is anyone good at? I'd like to give the place a once over, see if there's any like hidden areas in the tomb, like a hidden door or something, where things might have been stored. So it looks like they stole everything in here, but they might not have found like I don't know, like a hidden area for treasures.
You could try ritual casting some detect magic and see if there's any magical hidden doors or anything.
I'm not a magician myself.
Well, the magic casters can.
I can do that. Yeah, I'll start ritual casting detect magic.
There is nothing magical here.
Well, that sucked. Alright, well. Can't kill any Xanathars over here.
Oh, yeah. And as you kind of give the crypt a very thorough examination, looking for secret doors, traps, hallways, there is nothing.
You think there's a second one, or was the family only?
I honestly wouldn't know.
I'm just guessing if there's like some sort of schism in the family, or maybe the first one filled.
But if this is the case, maybe we should see if we can try and find that mysterious figure.
I'm gonna look at the ground and see if there's any sort of tracks or anything that lead out of it that I could follow.
Okay, so you exit the crypt looking at the ground, and a gruff voice shouts at you. Hand over the stone!
I look to see in the direction of the voice, see what I'm looking at.
Nancy? Well, you don't have to look very hard, because after you look up from the ground, you see 4 Duergar have kind of flanked the entrance, and off behind them, maybe about 30 feet, 50 feet from where you are, there is a gazer kind of hovering behind them.
Do they have Xanathar eyes on them?
Not that you can see. It is dim light. It's quite dark. But you walk out. They shout, "Hand it over! We will not ask again."
I'll use Xanathar.
While they're doing that, I'd like to come a little bit closer, within like 30 feet.
The Duergar are kind of look around at each other. All right, we'll have to beat it out of you then. And
No,
all the
hold on.
Duergar cast enlarge on themselves using their Duergar magic.
Sure.
And,
While they're doing that, can I like take
I'm a
take
go.
one of the swords out of their belt before they draw them with my mage hand? I'm an arcane trickster.
you don't even have line of sight on them.
Oh, I don't. Fuck.
All right.
As they're
Everybody roll
enlarging, I would
initiative.
like to request that I can rage
Everybody roll initiative.
before they did the initiative, so I don't have to use my bonus action.
Just roll initiative.
I forgot to select my token. There. Wow.
Congrats.
All around me are familiar faces.
All right. Darnock, it looks like you're up first.
All right, I'll go ahead and move up to the door. Seeing the enlarged creatures, I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
Jerry?
All right, I'm gonna move forward. Actually, gonna bonus action. Gonna come forward. And then I'm gonna take a shot at this guy right here because I can see him.
You standing on top of Darnock?
Yeah, but as long as I don't end my turn there, I've got 2 more move. 11 or 21 if stealth went off with a 14.
Yes, you are hidden.
21 to hit, and if it does, 11. And then I'm gonna back up and end my turn.
All right, so these massive Duergar gonna come charging up. And you see 2 of them have war picks, and then the other 2 have javelins. And so first, the 2 with the war picks attacking Lothar and Darnock. And it whispered it. Don't whisper. That's a miss versus Lothar. And then Darnock.
That hits.
Okay. And then we have some javelins. This one here, stabbing at Lothar. Take 11. No, your rage didn't go off. And then the other one, throwing the javelin inside. Gotta be Darnock. And it misses. Do it.
Going to run up and take two short sword attacks on the Dorigar that I can reach. So this guy.
Both of those miss.
And I'll end my turn there.
All right, Phoebus.
Phoebus is going to move down to here. He's just going to kind of reach round and place his hand on Lothar. I'm going to go ahead and give him a cure wound. Oh, ignore the 3 radiant. And then he's going to back up a little, and that'll be his turn.
Lothar.
Thank you, healer. My turn to kill some Xanathars. I go into a rage, and the one directly below me, I am going to hit.
That is a hit.
And that'll be my turn.
Are you sure? All right, Darnock. Oh, you said it before. I'm dumb. Darnock.
All right, it's gonna pull out and stab with his dagger. And that's it.
Okay, Jerry.
I'm gonna move over. Hide behind the
Coffin.
and then take a shot with the crossbow. So probably
20
not
feet.
hidden. 6
Oh
is
no, you
probably
don't have
not
advantage
hidden.
on stealth, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, no, 10 is a miss.
Great. End of turn.
Okay, so the Duergar again. This guy here. They checks advantage. He's gonna try and grapple Lothar. He just reaches out with one of his massive hands, and he's gonna try and like palm your face like a basketball and hook his fingers around your horns. So contested strength checks. And well, it's advantage because he's enlarged, so 15. Okay. So he tries, and you just kind of swat his hand away. The other two, Duergar and Melee, are going to take the opportunity to attack you. That's a hit for 7, 3. And then again, 13 misses. Last guy, you see him pull out another massive javelin, and he throws it at Tuit. And I believe that's a hit for 5. Then Tuit, you're up. Is that a fairy fire?
That is grease.
Okie dokie.
The deck saves. Sorry, I'll pause.
What's your save DC?
13.
So this guy, the one who's barely in it, falls prone.
And that's it for my turn.
Hulk would be so proud right now. Phoebus? Oh, look, there he is!
Phoebus is going to go ahead and throw out a firebolt at this Duergar here. I'm going to step across first. Okay, that's the end of his turn.
Lothar.
Whichever one you said was knocked prone, I am going to give him a big ol' sword to the face.
Yeah, that is a big old sword. Finished?
That'll be it, yeah.
Darnak.
All right, gonna go ahead and stab the prone one with his dagger.
And as you stab him, you see he stops breathing, and as he does, his body retreats back to normal size.
All right, I'm gonna step back around the corner here, and end my turn.
Jerry.
All right, I'm going to cast Create Bonfire on this square right here. Can I get a Dex saving throw DC 11?
Yep.
Sorry, that passes, so no damage. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to hide, and then my.
All right, the Duergars. This one will move over. This guy only one javelin left. He's gonna do the dumb and run into the grease and into the bonfire. Well, into the bonfire maybe. I guess that depends on the grease. Yep. And fails the bonfire, so I guess he takes 7. We'll use the number rolled from.
Cool.
And then yeah, they're gonna try and put some work in on Lothar. Looks like you take 5, and that's it. Then this one, well, all of them are going to spread out. This guy can. He run 5, 10, 15. No, because of the grease, it's all difficult terrain. So he's gonna stop there. Then the other 2 are gonna run away. So you'll get to make an AO on one of them. Okay. Which did you attack, left or right?
Right is always correct.
All right, and he is dead. And again, as your greatsword kind of cuts through his back, you can see that the Duergar shrinks back to normal size as he dies. Do it.
Gonna run up to the one on the right. Let's see if I have enough. Can I? I guess I can attack him from the square because he's kind of occupying that other one.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
Both hit. And that's a dead Duergar.
Cool. I'll I have one more movement square, so I'll move back behind. That's the end. I'll end my turn.
Okay. Before Phoebus gets to his turn, you guys can see a light coming in from the east, and as you do, you see a man run up. He's carrying a lantern. He looks around to all of you and he says, What is going on here? All of you stand down immediately!" And he has a heavy crossbow drawn, and he's pointing it kind of frantically, first to the Duergar, then to the rest of you. But he doesn't seem too keen on actually using it. You can tell there's a nervousness and an anxiety about actually, firing the weapon. Phoebus?
Okay, Phoebus is going to come outside. And he's just going to kind of hold a hand up to the man and say, "Please, we're not here to cause any harm. These Duragar assaulted us. And watch out behind you!" And I throw a firebolt at the gazer over here.
It hits the gazer, and the gazer's been kind of out of view for a while because he's been in the dim light. But as the firebolt kind of streaks over to hit towards the gazer, you see something very strange. The gazer's singular yellow eye, it wasn't yellow. As the firebolt streaked towards it, you saw it was almost an undulation of colors. It was changing from blue to purple, pink, and it was just kind of watching everything as it unfolded. And then as the firebolt struck it, there was almost an audible pop, and then it was gone. And then the gazer's yellow eye was just kind of left as normal.
Okay.
Finished?
Yes.
Lothar.
All right, I'm going to dash towards this gazer and hit him with my horn.
It's not something you can do. Hammering Horn says you can do a bonus attack after a melee weapon attack, doesn't it? Immediately after you hit a creature.
Rush,
oh, that is, yep,
on
that's
the
a
other
thing
hand.
too. Alright, melee weapon attack with the horns, and you crit the poor gazer. Yep, and it dies. I'd like to imagine like you kind of lean in and you spear it with your horn, and then you just stand up and it's like there still on your horn, just dripping like gore on your face.
I like to imagine that I bring one of its tentacle eyes to my mouth and just start using it like one of those drink helmets.
Oh no. All right, that was productive.
You know, that's in your head.
All right, Darnak. Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and, seeing the guard, I'll go ahead and take the dodge action.
I'm going to trap concentration on the fire since it's no one seems to be on it. I'm gonna move.
That's Greece.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna dash to the south. I guess I can't get off. And then I'll hold my action to shoot the Durgar if it continues to be hostile towards us. And then
you have to roll for the grease.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Karma, thanks for the resub.
I still have the bonus action dash, so then I would have to stand up and then.
So 25 feet of movement was here.
Yeah, right. So I'd lose the rest of my regular move.
Right. Sorry, I got distracted. Thanks for the resub and welcome. How you doing today?
And then standing up takes half the dash, and then I guess I move 15, or do I roll for grease because I'm moving through it another 5?
Yeah. You can just move to 15. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and then I'll hold my action to shoot the Durgar if it doesn't stand. And then end a turn.
All right. So the Duergar here, he kind of stands and looks at everybody, and then seeing someone that he thinks could be a weaker target, he's going to run up, and he's going to try to hit Jerry.
As he runs to me, can I get my held action?
Yep. Wait. Oh, yeah, because that was bonus action dash.
10.
Yeah, that's miss. 17 versus you for 15.
I will shield that.
Use your reaction to do the attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't have shield. Nope. So yeah, that hits.
All right. It's 15 damage. And as he lands his pick against Jerry's head, there's a splash of blood. He kind of points to all of you. You stand down, and he points over to the gazer. The boss is watching. Don't forget, he has your friends and families. And he kind of smiles, thinking for sure that you're all going to just give up.
Well, I'm gonna run up and stab him a couple times.
Yep. And nope.
And my turn there.
Phoebus?
Okay. Phoebus is once again going to turn to the man. Actually, no, he's gonna move up to here and give a cure wounds to Jerry because he ain't looking too good. And then he's going to move up to the man again, hands sort of raised in a non-threatening manner, and just say, "Look, these people are trying to attack us. We're just defending ourselves. No need to get excited. But he's
Okay.
the real threat." And I say, pointing over at the Durgal.
So the man, he's gonna take his turn now, and after saying like we're just here to, he's just gonna shout, "You're a liar! You have no purpose being in the city of dead after hours. Grave robbers, all of you!" And he's gonna fire a crossbow bolt at the Duergar, and he hits him for a whopping 3 damage. All right, Lothar.
Lothar is gonna go up here and goring rush the other nerd. And I'm gonna do it recklessly.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And that'll be my turn.
Darnak.
All right, he's gonna fire his crossbow at the door guard.
It bounces harmlessly off of his scale armor.
All right, and that'll end his turn.
All right, Jerry.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna drop my crossbow and pull my short sword, and I'll make an attack with the short sword. 11. Sure. Then end of turn.
The Duergar now, after being gored by Lothar, he's going to turn around and try to hit you again with his pick. Wrong sheet. Oh, reckless. All right, 15. Looks like a hit. Take 6. To it.
I don't have enough for
We're gonna do a
round,
non-lethal
so let's
here.
just do a potion.
Hey, I appreciate every little bit, buddy. So let's take a look at the potion table. 12. A potion of invulnerability. That'll come in handy. Alright, 10, 16 hits, and actually that will kill the Duergar. So you stab clear through, penetrating his armor. His eyes go wide with shock as he falls down and shrinks to normal size. However, the watchman still has his crossbow raised and pointed towards the group. All of you, drop your weapons. Come down with me.
I'll sheath my sword.
Does anybody not stand down when told to?
I'll sheath my sword and pick up the unconscious Duragar, because he did say non-lethal, and say, he's coming too.
I feel like we should just...
Oh, no,
The people
no.
who robbed the crypt are here. There's 5 of us and 1 of you. I think you have your culprits for robbing the crypt, and we'll just be on.
No, I'll let the magisters sort that out.
Can I pick up their war picks on the way?
If you want. Although, trying to, as you stoop down to pick something up off the corpse, he says, "Stop it! Stop! Head to the gate, all of you, out!"
Is this guy dressed as a town guard?
No, he is not. You can see he's got, he's got heavy chain armor on, and over that is black, like, ceremonial robes. If anything, he looks like a knight or a cleric.
Look, it's been a long day of drinking, and I have a lot of sobering up to do.
Who are you? You're clearly not one of the town guard.
No, I am Brother Ambrose Everdon. I am one of the Kelemvorites that is responsible for the city of the dead.
I worked at one of the Kelemvorites' temple.
Did you?
I did.
He kind of lowers his weapon a bit.
Yes, I was working with the doctors there, or not doctors, the medics there, healing those that had been injured in the bloodbaths that had been waging down in the street.
Then what are you doing here? And he raises his crossbow again. You didn't rob the crypt, did you?
No, but the crypt has been robbed. When we arrived, and I kind of point to the door and the large, obvious, like, powerful things that have burst through it. Something had torn the doors off and been through and ransacked the place. You see, we've been investigating some of the activities of the Xanathar Guild and the Zentarim, and our search led us here. Once we got here, we found that the doors had been smashed in, and, well, when we tried to leave, these Duragar attacked us, shouting something about us giving them a stone or something.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty compelling argument. Make a persuasion check with advantage, since you are also since you had worked at the Kelemvor Temple.
Okay.
All right, so he lowers his weapon. He's like, "Okay, I believe you. Just, I do need all of you to leave immediately. The grounds are closed after dark."
Very well. Did you happen to see somebody else around, possibly carrying a lantern further down the way? We saw somebody else before we got here.
He
And we think
holds
that
up
maybe
the
they were
lantern in
responsible.
his hand. You mean this one?
So it was probably you that we saw earlier. Very well. Well, would you mind if we just had a look to see if we could find any clues to find out where the grave robber went?
Absolutely not. You shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Phoebus shrugs and turns to the rest of the party. Okay, well, I have no desire to cause any more ill will towards the church or anything. Well, how about you guys?
No, I say we go. We can try to come back later, maybe in daylight with other people around.
I don't think that we're gonna find anything here.
I grab the unconscious Duragar and start heading towards Troll Skull.
Oh, before we go, I'd like to ask the guy if there's another crypt for this family.
He just shakes his head no.
It's a terrible thing, wiping out all of their remains.
Before we go, Phoebus will thank the man for his understanding and say, "Look, we're going to leave. If you do find anything that might help lead us to this grave robber, it would be really, really helpful if you let us know. Maybe send a message to Troll Skull Manor. If you do find anything, if you can, I would really appreciate it."
He nods his head silently and then kind of points towards the gate.
Okay. Phoebus will turn and walk towards the gate.
All right, once outside the city of the dead, what would you guys do now?
I'm heading to Troll Skull for some quote unquote interrogation.
Anyone have any different ideas?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right, back to base camp
Yeah.
it is.
Though, worth noting, I am putting a bag over his head in case he wakes up.
Why? They already know where you live.
Does Xanathars
Yeah.
do?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
we
suppose
know
they
that.
don't. Okay.
We should put him in the empty beer keg.
Oh no, I'm gonna have my fun with him.
So, you guys walk into Troll Skull Manor, and when you do, you see Istrid is still there. She's acquired some lumber and is currently refinishing one of the bar tops. And as you walk in, she wheels around and looks at you, carrying the unconscious Duergar. Who is that?
I look at her and say, would you like to follow to the basement for some interrogation?
But why would you bring him here? This was a safe house. How do you know he
it'll
wasn't
still-
followed?
He's dead.
Ed?
Or he will be, and I give a slight grin.
My glasses are rotating like 10.
Darnock will walk back outside and see if he sees anybody lurking in the shadows.
Okay. I guess I should put a Duergar on that.
Put him in the basement, because that's where I'm going.
Okay. He's in the basement.
Can you put me there too, please?
We're in the basement.
Thank
Anyone else going down?
Phoebus will go down.
Istrid is also going to come down. Who is this man? Why have you brought him here?
This man might have some useful information.
But who is he?
Just a Xanathar, as far as I know.
She holds the hammer above her head. Well, let's wake him up. She walks forward. She just brings it down hard on his foot.
Is she looking just about as excited for this as I am?
She's a Xanathar. They're at war.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So he wakes up with a start. Ah! What? Where have you taken me?
I just start slowly just rubbing my hands together and say, "You have information that we want. Talk now. Might save you some pain."
Talk. Talk on what?
Well, what dirty little secrets do you have, Xanathar?
Secrets? I have none for you. Ah! He spits in your direction.
Well, I have one for you. Something that I don't often share with many people. I reach and grab a pouch and just start pulling out teeth slowly. I collect these from things that I kill, and I pause for a second, start pondering, looking through them. And you know, I don't think I have a Duragar tooth.
He looks quietly at the pile of teeth accumulating on the ground. Then he looks up at you and he laughs. Ha 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 ha! My people were at war with the Drow for more years than you can ever comprehend. You think you could do something to me that the Drow, in all of their cruelty, could not? Get out of here! You are a child playing at an adult's game.
Now, how many Minotaur have you come across?
He turns and he looks to the other three of you. I'll not speak to this one. He's not very bright. Maybe, if you would like me to be more cooperative, you'll get me a glass of that ale behind you, and you'll undo these bindings.
As he's opening his mouth for speaking, I'm gonna reach my hand in and rip out a tooth.
How do you fit your hand in someone's mouth?
Not nicely.
All right. Well, so you shove your finger in there, and logically, he clamps down hard and bites you. I mean, he is conscious. He is hostile.
And I just kind of smile at this and just pry his jaws open and get my tooth.
After you take 2 bludgeoning? Bludgeoning.
Piercing?
Piercing? I don't know. It depends on what tooth he got you with, I guess.
Okay.
Alright. You rip out his tooth. There's a trickle of blood and he just spits it at you. Take them all. I'll tell you nothing. And as this is happening, you see one of the barrels of ale explodes. I do not approve of this.
Oh, Ghost, you're not gonna want to finish this one. Go back upstairs.
Cease this act now. This is a tavern.
And then I look over at the crap. What's it called? What's our guild called again? I'm drawing a blank. Mafia guild. Tauren, thank you.
I'm just
I look
super
over at this
beast
and
at
Tauren
RP.
say,
What are you talking about?
You know, I've been thinking about starting a collection of bones. What one do you think would be a good starter bow?
He closes his mouth and just stares defiantly.
Phoebus kind of huffs kind of loudly. Look, Lothar, this obviously isn't working, and it hasn't worked any time that you've tried threatening people. Can we just
Yeah, you're just bad at it.
attempt? Can we just try talking to them before you immediately start, threatening people with violence?
Did they try talking to us before they killed Johnny?
No, they didn't. But we should hold ourselves in to a higher standard than them.
Now he begins to talk. Ah, you were the one that was friends with the dock worker. Oh, that was such a sight. He screamed and cried as he was ripped from his home.
It seems they tried talking to Johnny then.
I'm gonna shatter his kneecap.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't wince or cry out in pain. He just stares ahead defiantly, determined not to let you get any satisfaction from this.
Phoebus will kind of try and interpose himself between the Duragar and Lothar and say, look, he's obviously trying to bait you. He doesn't want to give up anything that he knows, and he's trying to convince you to cause enough damage to kill him so that he can die with, whatever he knows. Just calm down. Go upstairs and have a glass of ale or something.
Oh no, here's the thing. We have a healer. We could just keep going all night.
I'm the healer, and I'm not playing that game. I'm not torturing people. That's not who I am, and that's not what's going to happen in my presence.
I'm just gonna keep getting darker and darker with this, so I'm not gonna say it on stream, but let's just see where this goes, DM.
Well, if you continue this course of action, which you're saying you are, the next time you attack the defenseless Duergar, it's going to kill him. And so we'll just hand wave it all, and now he is dead.
Pity. I didn't get to have more fun with my toy.
Phoebus just shakes his head angrily and goes back upstairs.
Okay. So everybody goes back upstairs. You guys have a dead dwarf in the cellar. Now what?
I'm gonna look over at the Zentarum and say, I don't think the Xanathar took our prize. Would you have any idea if the Zentarum could have gotten to what we were looking for before them, or if there's another party of interest here?
She shakes her head confused. What is it you are speaking of?
An item both of your parties are after. And then I look over to one of our more charismatic people for help here.
But where
You
were
got
you?
this, Lothar.
What? You'll have to tell me in detail what happened. I've not seen you in nearly 2 days, and now you come in with a hostage and start talking about things that I have no knowledge of. Tell me, where have you been?
Phoebus will step up. Well, we were trying to track down a bit of information, and while checking on some of our contacts, we found that the It seems that the Xanathar have kidnapped a number of people that are important to certain members of our group, or have done some of them harm.
That is
Uh,
his way. He forces people into compliance by attacking those they care about. I am not surprised.
I mean,
well,
that seems counterintuitive because once you kill somebody, then there's nothing left.
She turns and looks to you. Well then, uh, it can be quite a persuasive tool. Stop doing what you're doing, or I kill everything you care about. And if I know the Xanathar well enough, I would say not all of them are dead. He probably killed a few of those you know as a warning, and he probably has the rest of them hostage.
well, we ended up we were tracking down a stone of sorts, and we tracked it towards the docks, where we found a group of Xanathar attacking, or at least attempting to break into the residence of an old woman. We managed to dispatch them. We rested up there, which is why we weren't back here last night, and we continued our search in the city of the dead. Once we arrived at the graveyard where we believed the stone to be, we found that it had already been robbed, and as we exited, the Xanathar arrived with these Durgar to assault us, shouting at us to hand over the stone.
Did you find the stone?
No. If it was there, it was gone before we got there. It seems somebody else had broken in before we did.
Huh. It would appear that the trail has gone cold then. Did you find nothing else among your journey? How long? Doesn't matter.
Nope.
Did the key that we found, was that for the door that was in the crypt?
No, it was specifically said it was not for the door.
Okay. We happened to find a fairly well-made key. Didn't seem to match anything that was in there, but it was maybe dropped by whoever robbed the place. Perhaps you might be able to shed some light on it, if the design is familiar at all.
I would not, but I suppose there would be others in town that might. Maybe the craftsman at the House of Wonders would know. And if not them, then maybe someone from the guild of the armorers, locksmiths, and finesmiths would be able to.
It's a good starting point. Actually, I believe we do need to go and speak with the people at the House of Wonders anyway. You don't happen to know of a decent way to remove the corpse of that dwarf, do you? This isn't the kind of thing that I'm particularly used to, so I
He
wouldn't
kind
really
of
know the way to go
shrugs.
about it.
Don't we want to leave the body in the basement to get more ghosts? Maybe we could be the ghost bar by just stockpiling corpses.
I think if we start keeping bodies in the basement, we'll start stockpiling rats.
I mean, he is 100% edible, so you know.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so I guess for now, I'm going to call it a night. Maybe we'll go in the morning to go and speak to the House of Wonders.
Sure. All right. Yeah, you guys can take a long rest, sleep through the night, and then I'm gonna go get some water, and then we'll pick up.
I look at the rest of the parties we're gathering. Yeah, that whole edible thing was totally a joke, by the way. Just to let you know. I'll get rid of the body. Kind of my fault. He's dead.
What, are you saying this in the morning or at night?
At night.
Okay. Well, Phoebus would have gone to bed at that point. Climbs up into his tower, gazes out at the stars for a few hours.
I was gonna get darker with that whole scene before, but then I remembered this was on stream, and I realized that was probably a bad idea.
Yeah, it might have been.
I mean, honestly, waterboarding is way more effective than like breaking bones.
I don't know. I think Daddy was kind of just railroading us into thinking that we weren't going to get any information off of him.
No, we only tried the rod. We didn't try the carrot. And so far, the rod has never worked.
But I like the rod.
Yeah, but like, you're not a charisma guy.
But I'm intimidating.
No, you're not. What's your intimidation stat?
2.
So I'm a priest, well, like a priest spellcaster dude, and I've got a 3, and I'm not even trained in it.
Well, I mean, I feel like I should get points in intimidation for being a minotaur, being a barbarian, and being the one that broke his bones.
But you don't.
Once Daddy gets back, I'm sure he's listening through his wireless headphones. We should request to let me do strength-based intimidation checks every now and again.
Well, part of being intimidating is about being able to properly articulate your threats, and if you've got a low charisma, you're probably not very good at articulating your threats. You kind of just walk up and shove your fist in their face and go, "Urgh."
I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of scary if I was at the other end of that. You need charisma to get the information, but strength and just overall scariness to get the intimidation.
All right. No, you can't do strength-based charisma checks. It's stupid. Hello? All right. What are we doing now?
Okay. Morning coming. Phoebus will head downstairs and, grab a little something to eat, and then suggest that we head to the House of Wonders. Maybe speak to them, see if they know anything about the design of this key, and also let them know about the Nimble Right.
Yes.
How does everybody else feel about that?
Sounds good to me.
Plan.
Ah, I never even looked at that.
Okay.
Girl hand, damn it. Nope. Let's go alley. Trying to go back into the previous chapters to find the bit about the House of Wonders. Give me a second.
Daddy doesn't like us because we actually remember story elements.
Like what? I had to basically point out the key for you. And that just happened like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, well, I didn't want to tell the person about the key, but if the party's just going to tell everybody everything we like,
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
It was just the one person, and I thought it would be useful because she's a Zentarum and they hate the
There we go.
Xanathar.
Yeah, so let's get everybody knowing that we know about where the Stone of Glory is. Like, I mean, we might as well just like print it in the papers.
Uh,
Also,
Maybe.
I'm not the smartest of barbarians.
Phoebus is quite a trusting person. He's a little skeptical sometimes, but I don't know. He thinks that for at least for the most part, we could probably trust Istrid for a little bit, since we're helping her out anyway. But
I mean,
sure,
I
it may well
assume she just was placed in
may
there to
well.
get all of our information.
She's
She's
also
probably assume-
she's
Okay.
also fixing up the bar.
She is.
Sure, but that doesn't mean you have to.
No, I totally get that, but the idea that she could be there to try and spy on us hasn't really occurred to him. Since we kind of gathered that we think that she's okay, Phoebus, he doesn't trust her implicitly, but he,
Explicitly tell us
if we
every
need help,
secret that we know.
well, maybe some.
I don't think we told her about the nimble, right? Did we?
No, we did.
Oh,
Maybe she's a trustworthy chap.
I mean,
She looks like it.
But who knows? Maybe if we're forthright with her, that she'll give up a little bit of information that she knows if she has any. Phoebus is a little naive. He's not
Do I have laser
that
eyes?
used to,
What are you guys
know,
talking about? Laser eyes.
dealing with the seedier sorts of people. He's only been in this kind of situation for maybe a week or a couple of weeks at the most.
I'm not making fun.
Other than that, he's lived up in the mountains and then spent his time in a church.
I don't fully distrust her, but my character would recognize that they want information for information.
Would Rick the what?
Apparently, it didn't work, but you know.
So what are we doing?
Well,
We
we're
already
going to the Locksmith's Guild.
Well, the House of Wonders, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want
Sorry.
to go to the locksmith first?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
We'll hit both of them.
So you guys go to the House of Wonders, and it's the same site as before. There's a large main hall where a lot of the people are congregating, and there's pedestals with different contraptions on each. As you enter, there's just a big hustle and bustle, and eventually one of the priests of Gond kind of comes up, and they say, "How can I help you?"
Yeah, we're looking for. I actually can't remember her name, but the woman that was sort of.
It's okay. I know Lothar knows it because he remembers story items, right?
Yeah, her name was Debbie Dubrick.
No, I'm afraid there's no one with that name here, son. I'm sorry. You can't just linger. Who are you here to see?
The person who was in charge. Forgive me, I forget her name.
I can't scroll down and named NPC.
Eventually, you're saved because she speaks up. She says, "Oh, they are with me," and she kind of waves away the acolyte that was bothering you. She looks at you kind of sad. She's like, "How do you not remember my name? I am Valletta." How?
I know it's only been a few days, but it feels like it's been many weeks since we last spoke.
Well, how can I assist you? What do you need?
Well, first of all, we should let you know that we found the rogue Nimblewright
You did.
that was causing the troubles. Yes, we were unable to take it down peacefully, and so we had to destroy it. I believe Lothar took its head.
I unravel a sack and. Well, I don't actually unravel a sack. I just hand her the sack with it in
Just as proof of what we'd done.
It's you say this, but I don't see it in his inventory.
I remember we did this.
Yeah, he took the head when I was trying to put the body back.
Oh. You know, I kind of want to believe you, but then he didn't write it down, so how do I know?
Yep.
Wave it off as mobile flip.
Alright, so you unveil the sack and reveal the Nimblewright's head. And she looks at it, and then she looks at you, Phoebus. She's like, Why would you apologize for not taking it down peacefully? I wanted this thing destroyed. It was mad. It had hurt someone.
It's true. I don't really know the intricacies of what goes on with Nimblewrights. I didn't know if maybe there was something you could do to fix it or whatnot, but you know, that it is what it is, I suppose.
It is no matter. I will get you the agreed upon 250 gold pieces.
Thank you. So there were a couple of
It
other
was
things.
500
one of the
gold.
agreed upon thing was that you were gonna help
I
us
deliberately
restore,
changed it to
at
see
least,
if they would
to,
notice,
you know,
because
some
they
small
remember
extent,
story things.
The Troll Skull Manor for helping. And the other thing was I was wondering if you could take a look at something and let me know if you know its origins, or if you could give us any information about it.
I suppose I could. But what is it?
It's a key. Kind of show her the key. It seems quite intricately designed.
Is anyone talking?
Everyone is
Yeah.
talking.
Everyone's talking. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, Discord.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking.
Alright, hand me the key. I will see if I recognize it.
Sure.
Um,
And the key
she
over.
picks it up. She looks at it, she's like, oh, I do know this. This engraving, and as she kind of points to it, it's like a signature. It's made by a dwarven locksmith in the trades ward named Alaspra Omar. He is known as one of the finest locksmiths in all of Waterdeep, and makes locks that are said to be nigh unpickable.
Okay. That's extremely helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, but of course.
Can we get the spelling for that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
At the moment, I don't believe there is, unless anybody else has anything.
Well, I would like to give you a gift, as a way of saying thanks again for assisting with Nim and well, this, and she kind of holds up the sack. Nothing nothing wonderful, but some trinkets that were made here at the House of Gond. Uh the acolytes and initiates make them, and we end up with quite so many. Maybe if you can use them, you're welcome to have them.
Oh, it's most kind.
First thing she gives you is a matchless pipe. It's a smoking pipe. It has a switch in it. When you flick the switch, pipe lights. Then she gives you a small metal cube, about 6 inches on a side, and she explains that you can crank the box and then you set it down, and if anything comes near the box, it begins to bark, almost like a dog was near. And that's it.
That's pretty cool. Thank you. These are the most interesting items. I can see them being quite useful.
Well, yes. Like I said, the acolytes make them, and we have very many. So, if you would like them, you can have them.
Yes, thank you.
Well, if there's nothing else, I do need to be off.
Okay, yeah, we'll get out of your hair and allow you to get back on, and we'll head over and speak to Elaspera.
Okay.
All right. I guess when we get outside, should we divvy up the coin? Like what, 50 gold each?
Yeah, 50.
Okay, to the locksmith.
Sure. Doesn't take any effort to make your way to the trades ward. Just a little bit of time to travel. Oh, you're restrained. And when you visit Elaspera's shop, you see that she's sitting behind the counter, tinkering away with a large silver lock. She looks up and greets you warmly. Welcome to Elaspera's. How can I help you?
Hello. We were wondering if maybe you could give us some information. You see, we found this, but we don't know sort of what it belongs to, and I would show her the key.
Oh well, I'm afraid that I can't divulge that information. Um, my client's privacy is very important to me.
I understand your position with that. However, I'm going to be a little bit forthright with you. We found this key at the site of a grave robbing, and we're trying to find out who was responsible. Whoever dropped the key is very likely the person that had robbed those graves, and we'd like to find out who they are.
I don't see how that's any concern of mine.
You're right. It's not specifically a concern of yours. However, being a good citizen of the city, perhaps you might like to help catch nefarious people that are causing problems. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't like it if it was a member of your family that had recently had their graves robbed. You would like to have the culprit brought to
But
justice.
it wasn't a member of my family. And I'm afraid I've already told you. I will not divulge the information of one of my clients.
Well, wouldn't it be a concern of yours if this item was found at the grave robbery and has your signature on it?
Well, if there was any question or concern, then the City Watch would come and ask, not you. If there's nothing else, I would ask you to leave my shop. You're scaring away the paying customers.
Can we find a city watch like when we leave?
It shouldn't be too hard. They're like everywhere.
Yeah. So where do they keep their badges? Like, is it like an easily accessible location?
I think they wear it on their shirt. I'm checking the Enchidera now. If I can find it. Follows.
Like, is it like emblazoned on them, or is it like
Let's see.
1900s like or sheriff badge? Or
first owners is police. You can recognize any member of the City Watch by the uniform: green and goldenrod doublet, tall steel helmet. Each typically carries a large truncheon, dagger, buckler. Creature member of the watch. No. Actually, I don't think there is a badge. I think the uniform is the badge. It's the like I said, that green and goldenrod. No, they have badges. It's a thing. It's an emblem of the watch, right?
I don't know. I was just like asking because it seems like we could just go to a convenience store and pick up some guard outfits and totally be.
Oh, you could try that, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything about a badge. It just says their uniform: golden green, doublet, and a tall steel helmet.
We could go to a shady blacksmith and ask for a guard's outfit.
It's a doublet. Blacksmiths don't make things out of cloth.
Well, I was talking about for the helmet, for every tailor, I suppose. That's my idea. If you guys have any.
Well, Durnock will walk back in and ask the lady, can we at least inquire what the key goes to?
Sir, I told you. I'm not going to give any information. Wouldn't you want me to protect your privacy?
Well, I'm just curious on what the item that it opens.
I would imagine it would go to a lock. Keys usually open locks, do they not?
Some cases, but didn't know if there was anything specific or a little bit more detail you could provide. When he says that, he kind of put a couple gold coins on the counter.
Sir, I will not be bought.
Okay, fair enough. You do have wonderful craftsmanship on the key, but sorry to waste your time. And he'll turn around and walk out.
Why has nobody tried to charm her yet?
Yeah, Phoebus will leave as well.
Yeah.
And go. Where are we going?
Well,
should we maybe return to the docks and see if we can show the key to what's her name?
Didn't she leave in her machine?
Yeah, she did.
What? Why would you show her the key? See, see if it was for something with her family.
Yeah.
I'll save you the trouble. You do that, she has no clue.
Oh, maybe we could go to the hoppers for some help.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm kind of out of ideas. This seems to be the only clue that's going to lead us to where we're going to go. So I think we need to try and find a way around this situation.
All right. So you're gonna go to the Harpers.
Yeah, let's fold some like origamis and throw it into the wind and see if that works.
All right. So you guys make your way to the Opera House, which is your inconspicuous meeting place for trying to meet with Mert. And eventually he kind of exits from his viewing booth. He walks out. Well, gentlemen, yes. What can I do for you?
We need some help.
Help. Help. How so?
We need information on this key, but the keysmith wouldn't give us any information. And we were hoping that maybe since we did the hoppers a favor, you could help us a little bit, a little good faith.
Phrenology study. What is phrenology? So he kind of looks at you. He's like, "What? Can you be a little bit more specific? What is how do you expect us to assist?"
Perhaps you might be able to find a way to find out who the key belongs to.
Well, we could look into it. Who was the artisan?
Elaspra Ulmar.
Oh, Alaspra. She's actually a good friend of ours. Did you tell her that you were a harper?
We hadn't officially joined your ranks. We've done some work together, but
Sure you have. You carry our pin, do you not?
I certainly don't have a pin.
No.
Mobile pleb forgot to add it. Hold on.
If I did, I definitely didn't have it on my sheet.
Yes, after you helped out Maitre Mureg with the gazer, right? I do believe I rewarded you all with pins that with our harp symbol. Yes.
Oh, here it is.
I must have left it in my other robe.
I said the wrong name, but they'll never know. Yeah, I would recommend. She may not give the information immediately, but show her your pin. She should be much more willing and cooperative.
Do the other guilds have a similar pins such as yours? Like, obviously not acorns, but do they have like whatever
Acorn.
symbols?
He shrugs. I'm sure they do, but I don't associate with them, so I wouldn't know.
Well, if she's a known friend of the Harpers, then sure, I suppose it's a good idea to pay her another visit.
Okay. Well, after you've conducted your business, make sure to stop in sometime again. I'm sure I have other things you can do for the organization.
Well, we are here now. If you have anything.
No, nothing at the moment. But that's just make sure you stop in every now and then. Hmm? We'll have a
Sure
good
thing.
chat, a glass of wine, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Okay, we'll make sure to do that. Thank you again for reminding us.
He gives you a little nod and goes back into the viewing booth.
While heading back, Phoebus will say, I'm not very good at this cloak and dagger stuff.
I don't think any of us are well practiced enough, and that kind of feels bad.
I don't know. I think we're doing pretty well considering I lived in a cave for so many years.
Yes,
Yeah, you're doing a great job, Darnak.
No one said he was bright.
All right. I guess we head back to go and speak with Elaspro.
All right, so as you guys walk in, she's again just kind of tinkering with a lock on the counter, and as you walk in, she throws her hands in the air. I thought I told you to leave.
Flasher the pin.
Oh. Oh? Really?
It appears that we have friends in common.
Or
Well,
we just mugged one of your friends.
she looks
You
very
shut
alarmed. What?
God damn it! Shut up. We did not. We're here from.
She's not convinced. I need someone to roll a persuasion check. She's definitely on guard now.
Phoebus will roll.
They had
I'll
to make the
help
check
him
anyway.
by
But...
saying stuff.
What stuff?
Stuff involving slapping the one dude that said that.
14 is sufficient. So she kind of looks very suspicious at first, but then she just kind of shrugs. I don't think that's possible. I'm if that were to happen, then I think we would have heard about it, and you don't want to have to face the wrath of Mert.
No intention of trying to face Mert's wrath. He seems quite a pleasant fellow and a good man to work with.
Oh, I'm sure you haven't heard the legends though. He is very pleasant now in his retirement years, but he used to be called Mert the Merciless. He's supposed to be a fearsome combatant like none other. But that's neither here nor there. What is it that you wanted again?
We wanted to try and find the owner of this key.
Okay. I do know who this key is for. Part of my signature here on the engraving helps me recall that information. She pulls out a ledger from a nearby cabinet, and in this ledger you see various like scribblings. They look like symbols on the left, and then like details on the right. She kind of holds the key up and next to these scribblings in the one column until she finds a match. Okay. This key was for a man named Volcar Gibbons. I have an address here if you would like it.
Yes, please.
Yeah. If I remember, this key here, it should unlock the front door. I installed the lock myself, and I think he lives there with another man, or Lester, something Earl.
Okay, well that's the information that we needed. Thank you. I think we should be on our way. Do we need anything? I look at my party.
I don't believe so.
Do we ever get a lock for the Skull Manor?
I mean, what's the point? They'll just kick the door in.
That's
Just
fair.
something.
Actually, a good idea. Phoebus will turn to her. Since we're have let's say
Shit.
friends in common,
Ask me
I was wondering
questions,
if maybe
man.
you could provide a friend's discount on a lock on a property that we own.
Well, you see, I've already compromised my morals and told you how all of the all the information concerning one of my clients. I'm afraid I'm not in the habit of mixing business and pleasure very often.
Okay, then what would the price on one of your locks be normally?
10 gold pieces, standard fare. If you need it installed, it'll cost an extra gold for labor. Unless you would like one of my exquisite locks, like this one. And she gestures to the one she's been tinkering with.
And how much would that cost?
50 gold pieces to purchase the lock, an extra 5 for the installation, and it has to be installed by me. Any others would damage the integrity of the lock.
Is this
What does it do?
She looks at you kind
Other
of
than,
confused.
lock things.
It locks things, holds things closed, But my tumblers are some of the finest in the land, and I have yet to hear of someone being able to pick my locks.
That being the case, I will purchase one of your locks, and I'll hand over 5 platinum pieces, and then 5 gold.
Okay. She hands you. She kind of turns around the ledger she was working on and flips to a blank page. I need you to write down your address so I know where to go. And then I also need you to schedule when would you like this to be installed. I mean, I'm assuming you would want to be at the residence.
We'd like to be at the residence, but because of the nature of our business, we may or may not be. So there currently isn't even a lock on the door now. So
Oh,
getting there is yeah. So ideally, as soon as possible.
well, I do have other orders I have to fulfill first. But I suppose for an extra 10 gold pieces, I can move you to the front of the line.
Darnock will put down 10.
She takes all the coins off of the table and slides them into a pouch. Like, yeah. If you guys can leave, I'll lock up the shop and I'll head over right away.
Okay, yeah. Give her all of the information that she needs, and yep, we'll head out.
All right. You guys kind of walk outside and you're standing there for a second. And then maybe 10 minutes later, you see her heading out with it's like a backpack, but instead of a backpack, it's like a wooden chest with leather straps that she's wearing on her back. And she's heading off in the direction of Trollskull Manor.
Okay. So, shall we go find this Volcar fellow?
Or should one of us be there with her as she puts that in? I mean, what do our guests say if just some random person shows up and starts working on the door?
I mean, she's. Oh, I guess she's not. She doesn't own the place.
Yeah, but she's with a very powerful organization, and if she thinks that she's compromised, then things might get ugly.
Well,
Right.
she knows that the place needs doing up, which is why she took
Well,
it
I
upon
mean, she'll
herself
just
to
tell
fix the
her
bar.
that she's the first tenant at the inn, or she'll tell them that she's the carpenter doing the floor. Like, I'm pretty sure she's not.
An idiot.
We have a great party. All right, let's go to the place.
Wait, where's my
Volcars.
window? There it is. I already put them in order because I'm a smart guy.
Where is the Earl?
Earl?
Yeah, the
At the same
And-
place. That's his roommate. Okay. It's very easy to find since you guys were given the address and location. You guys are able to walk there, no problemo. Give me a hot second. Hey, wait a minute. It looks like I did a bad. Alright, whatever. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna put you guys on the map. Look there. Phoebus. Yep. Come on, old man. Sarnock. Vinod's not here. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So you guys are kind of standing out in the lawn of this huge converted windmill. And set into the door, you do see a very fine, polished lock.
All right. Shall we see if anybody's home?
Should it be dark for me or?
This map just doesn't have doesn't have light outside.
Okay.
Let me add a light source. Although it's not going to matter because you're going to go inside.
Do we want to knock first, or do we just want to go in? I personally think we should knock.
Oh, maybe check the windows to see if there's anybody inside.
As you look around, you see that all the windows are boarded over.
Well, that's not at all suspicious.
Indeed. Well, since we have the key.
This is where we're supposed to.
Hold on, before you do that, I'm going to give this place a good look over, see if there's any symbols of anything, to see if there's maybe a gang hideout or anything
No
of that
symbols.
nature. Okay. Well, knock or key, up to you guys. I'm fine either way.
might as well knock.
Wait, are there any guards nearby?
No.
Okay, I'm fine either way.
All right. Knocking doesn't receive a response.
Okay.
Yep. As you knock on the door, though, you find that this door is unlocked, and it swings open.
That is interesting. Shall we head inside?
Yeah, don't everybody act at once.
Yep. I mean, Phoebus isn't going to be the first person inside because,
That's how you
she's
die.
squishy.
I'll go. I'll go first. I'm the meat shield, though I have no idea where I'm going, so I'm just going to predict this direction.
What do you mean? You should be able to see.
Yeah, I can't see Jack.
Hold on, let me see if this map has Advanced Fog of War on by default. Because, that doesn't work.
Doesn't help that somehow the Minotaur doesn't have freaking dark vision.
Alright, you should be able to see now.
I'm going to reload, see if that will work, because I still can't see.
Everybody else can see, right?
Yep.
Yep, you can see dim light.
I feel cheated.
I can't see, so I guess I have to light up a torch.
Oh, there's a light source here.
I'm all black.
Yeah, I got dim.
I'll just refresh my page, see if that'll
Yeah, try
fix
that.
it.
Oh. Oh.
This isn't just darkness. This is advanced darkness.
No, still all black. Like, I can see my token, but I can't see anything on the map. Am I like in a wall or something?
So can you see if I do
No.
that?
No.
No. You're not in a wall, there's nothing here.
Nice. Well, I guess someone's gonna have to guide me around, I guess.
Yeah. We're gonna do mostly theater of the mind, because this map is yes.
Yeah, I'll put a pic in Discord.
I don't care. Alright. Walking in, you see a long stone corridor.
I will start walking down the corridor.
Okay. As you start walking, you can hear some chatter coming from around the hall.
I start stealthily walking down the corridor.
You can roll a stealth check if you'd like.
Can we hear what's being said?
No, it's muffled. Hello?
Hello?
Alright, so Lothar, you're clomping, right? And something hears you, and you can hear a response. Hello?
I'll gesture for him to go talk with whatever, so he doesn't blow the rest of us are there, and we'll back him up if.
Okay. So are you moving forward?
Sorry, that was interrupted. I was clomping and someone heard me.
Yes.
Yeah.
They shout, hello?
I guess covers blow and I'll say hello back.
Okay. Who's out there? If you're the watch, we'll leave.
Not the watch. We're friendlies.
As you turn the corner, you can see some commoners hanging out in the chamber. It seems they've made a den for themselves out of old, broken furniture and things salvaged from garbage piles. They're clearly filthy, and they look alarmed as you enter the room.
I ask them for their. Well, I say, all either of you, the Earl and God damn it, what's his name? Volkar Kibbins.
Well, say that one more time.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it in the accent. Volkar Kibbins.
There we go. Volkar and Erlister. I think they live upstairs.
Oh, okay. I get them to look over and see if there's anything shady in this room that's going on, or if they're just sitting there chilling. Oh, hey, I can see now.
Yay.
Why, this dungeon thing does look shady.
All right. So what now? Like they kind of told you they live upstairs. I don't know.
Let's go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, head upstairs.
Are they? Do you know if they're up there now?
I think so.
All right.
As you walk north to the large stairwell, behind one door, you see another commoner kind of exit, and as he does, you can see into the room behind. And in the room behind him, there's just a large open hole on the ground, and there's a terrible stench coming out of the room as the door is briefly open before he walks away.
Like rotting flesh or like skunk?
Like neither. I would say like sewage.
Fair enough. All right. Start heading up the stairs, I suppose.
Nobody needs the bathroom, do they? Okay. Up the stairs we go.
There's probably gold in that there trench. That's right.
I'm not a money-driven character. If any of you guys want to give it a go.
As you begin to climb the stairs and head up.
Oh, how far away is it?
How far away is what?
The money.
Oh. It's gleaming from the bottom of the pit.
Is it within 30 feet, or is the pit like way down?
There's no money. It's just a joke.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I can't see anything though, so.
Does he have vision? Yeah, he has sight. I don't know. Let's just give him dark vision. We'll see if that changes anything. No. Alright, as you guys walk up, you feel that the floor is kind of spongy here. Even though it's made of stone, you could feel it. There's some give as you step forward.
Well, how much give from me compared to everyone else?
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that I'm telling you the floor isn't exactly safe to walk on.
Okay. I'm gonna tread carefully as I go to, I assume this is a door?
Yep.
I give it a knock.
No one answers.
I give it a knock.
You hear a large commotion from the other side of the door.
I wait patiently.
It's ongoing. Like there's stuff being
I
knocked over. It's just a lot of noise. Though it's hard to place what that noise is.
open the door and go, housekeeping.
Opening the door, you see that there are a large number of birds in this room. They must have entered through a partially collapsed portion of the windmill. And as you knocked on the door, you startled them all, and that noise that you heard was the flapping of like 100 birds' wings all at the same time as they panic and move through the chamber.
I close the door.
Yeah, other than
okay.
all the birds, there's nothing of interest.
I look at my party and say, I've been thinking about something. Why would they go to an esteemed locksmith for this junk of place? Why would they
Because
bother spending money?
Who's gonna look in such a shitty place for a great treasure?
I think you need to worry less about money there, Sonny. Okay, what's this well thing?
It's a well.
On the second floor? Okay.
It's like a no, not a well, like a dumbwaiter.
Oh, okay. I see how sturdy it is. Just like yanking on it and just like not actually standing on it, but getting a good yank, see how much it budges.
As you pull on it, you hear a snap coming from the floor below, and you send pieces of lumber and stone tumbling to the bottom.
Okay, so not a good escape route. I'm gonna go look at this door. Hello, door.
This door has a very large padlock on it.
I use the key on the padlock.
It opens it.
Haha! I open the door.
Inside, you see two men. One is kind of propped up on a bed, lying, down as you enter. There he is, that high-res picture. The other one kind of looks and not a padlock. You shut up. The other one kind of looks and runs over to the first man's side and looks out at you. They are very startled and alarmed, but they just don't really react right away. It's almost like they're stunned.
I'm gonna guess that you're Earl and you're God damn it, I lost the names. Volcar.
They look to each other worried.
Oh, I just picked your lock. It was super easy.
What do you want from us?
We have a few questions. And I'm gonna go over to Phoebus, but he's better at talking than me.
Greetings.
Hi.
So we were wondering if perhaps you would part with a little bit of information. Help our little investigation.
That depends. What would you require from us, and what do we get in return?
Well, all we need is for you to tell us what you know about the questions we ask, and in return, we'll leave you be.
That doesn't sound very fair. We get nothing from the exchange.
I suppose you're right. How
I
about
hold
this,
out.
I'll
No.
give you 10 gold apiece.
They kind of look to each other. 10 gold apiece. All right, but you gotta promise us you'll pay.
If your information is good, then yes.
But how do we know if we have the information that you want? Sounds like they're gonna waste our time, Earl.
I have no intention of wasting any time. If your information proves to be helpful, then I will quite happily pay you 10 gold apiece.
How about you pay us 10 gold first, and that way, no matter what, we get paid for our time. Yeah, good idea, Volkar. I like that idea.
2 gold. Take it or leave it.
I don't like that one. Oh,
2 gold, you're getting 3 gold for absolutely nothing. That's 4 gold for both of you. That's enough for a hamburger.
A what?
Here, how about this? I'll hand you 10 gold now, which will be 5 gold apiece. And if your information's good, I'll give you another 5 gold each.
Will you shake on it? And the bald one with the darker skin kind of puts his hand out.
Phoebus will walk up to him and say yes.
All right. So he takes your 10 coins, and then they kind of step back. Our chamber's not very big, but you can come in and sit if you'd like. Volkar, get off the bed. And Volkar gets up and walks over next to Earl.
Yep. Phoebus will move in and over to the bed and sit down. Okay, so here's the thing. We were recently investigating a family tomb, and we happened across something that was most interesting. A very intricately designed key that didn't match anywhere but here. Care to shed some light on that?
Well, it's our key.
So, the place that we went to had recently been robbed of all of its contents and riches. Can you tell us why the person who had why the person who did that would have had your key?
Or they kind of look at each other and they look back to you guys. You're not going to turn us into the watch, right?
I just kind of look up and down at my body. Do you really think that we're going to go to the watch?
That's not why we're here.
It was us. We were there with a couple others. Then Erlister speaks up. We were hired. We're very hungry here, and the gold was good. Yeah, we took the coins and we paid for all of the people here to eat for a week.
Okay.
Now, can you describe in detail what all you took?
They kind of, you can see they're very nervous. One of them is like kind of grinding their hands, like just fidgeting. The other one is actively avoiding eye contact. I'd rather not.
I pull out my last platinum piece and say, if one of you has the information that I'm looking for, and whoever says it first gets this piece.
They look at each other, and then they kind of like reach their hands out like simultaneously, and then Erlaster kind of puts his hands on Volkar's shoulders. You talk. And Volkar begins, we were hired but it was a halfling. His name is Losser, and he has two apprentices that were with us, and he paid us to steal other corpses.
To steal the corpses.
That's right. He wanted the corpses.
And what about what was on the corpses?
He actually didn't care for those. We kept those, sold them, buy more food.
And can you describe what all that you had retrieved from said corpses?
Some fine garments, some jewelry. It's all gone though, sir. I mean, we sold it all.
Did you happen across a particularly interesting stone?
Actually, yeah. Um, Losser, he killed a rat that was in the crypt, and took a small stone it was carrying. The rat vanished when it died, and Losser thinks that the stone is magic. He would still have it.
And where can we find this Losser?
He and his apprentices, they live in a cellar complex under the trade ward. The way to their lair is through a wig shop called Dandy Mops.
Okay. And how do we get through there? I'm assuming that they're not just going to let us go wandering through their store.
I don't know, sir. There's a secret passageway, but I don't know how you could reach it without. With I just don't know.
I flick him the platinum piece.
I'm going to make an insight check to see if they are being entirely forthright.
You
At
get the
least as far as I
impression
can
that
tell.
they're hiding something.
Okay. I feel like there's something that you're not exactly telling us. Now, I understand what the thing that you did might be get you into some trouble. I say again, that's not why we're here. But I think you should be entirely forthright with us.
Well, the halfling Losser, he's a necromancer. He wants the bodies so that he can create an army of undead. I don't know why, and we didn't want to help him, but we were starving. You have to believe me.
That's fine. I actually just kind of assumed he was a necromancer when he said they wanted the bodies.
All right. Well, you've lived up to your end of the bargain. We'll live up to ours. And I'll hand over the other 5 gold.
Thank you, sirs. Can we have our key back too? Yeah, there's a lot of people come through the complex here, and not all of them are friendly or understanding about, and they kind of stand there looking at you for a second, or Laster still having his hands on Volkar's shoulders. We need the lock.
I think the lock will cost you 10 gold.
But sir, we only have this gold.
Just give them the keys.
There's no reason not to. I mean, they gave us the information.
Yeah, they were super helpful.
Well,
Jerry
Lothar,
doesn't
you
care.
currently
Jerry's got
have-
bills
you
to pay.
currently have the key anyway.
All right. Okay. So, where are you guys heading now? Or is there anything else you want to do with these two?
I guess we're just gonna follow up on that lead.
Okay. Then what I think is that this will be a good stopping point. And then we'll go to the cellar complex at the start of next week. I'm not really feeling well. Let me give you guys some experience first, because you did fight some things, and then you found out some things. Let's call it 800. You know what? No, let's just do 1,000. We'll do 1,000 experience divided by 5. It'll be 200 experience each. All right, and thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, make sure you join us on Discord. It's where we hang out, and through the week, that's where we organize all of our games. And if you want to get involved, that's where you need to be too. And hopefully I feel better, and I will see you tomorrow morning for Tomb of Annihilation. Bye, everyone.